Team Fortress 2 is my favorite video game when it comes to shooters. I don't know. Pyrovision goggles have been one of my favorites of the game. Though they didn't really add much to the Pyrovision goggles. After some point, they stopped giving maps a Pyrovision version, you know, and just started adding in community-made maps, which is good and everything, and that makes the game have a lot more to it. I enjoy how they try to strive for certain things. Do you know how she's gonna die at some point? She doesn't have much left. And I love little characters like this. It's possible to like multiple things, actually. In this sort of a way. I have romantic attractions. For a second, I'll show something, because I know which character I relate to. I relate to characters who've been through tragedies, because I've been through my own tragedies growing up. My first tragedy, seeing a dead kitten. Heartbroken. First time So it was strong, because it's the first time I've seen something that tragic. It traumatized me, so it's something hard. I just want to see the protection of characters like him. I remember how the Gondolia scene broke me for months as I was repressing emotions. I felt oppressed when I was around my mother. It's just difficult for me, because oppression is still a thing. Why are they equating cartoons with photography? It's stupid. In an environment like a cartoon, these characters cannot be ruined for life. In fact, many artists draw them enjoying the situation, not being traumatized a bit. That's what I like about these artists. They show it in a good way that is enjoyable. This is a unique human trait. Unlike other species, we could express these feelings towards characters with these childlike appeals in a way that does not hurt a child. Other animals don't have that. Other animals cannot. It's uniquely human. Very uniquely human, that though it ain't uniquely human to have these attractions as you see in other species. Otters, penguins, and I'm 100% sure any kind of animal, any kind of primate that is closer related to humans, that's for damn sure. I'm sure they do crazy stuff in the wild with their young, because they're monkeys. I've been finding myself enjoying monkeys as I've been studying about how just, I know that I just see humans as another animal, though at the same time there's just things that are presented in us humans that we cannot find in other species. There's just so much to unlock with that kind of thing. It's not evil. Cartoons are not immoral. Why does people even say it is? Like, why do they even make it an issue? I mean, like, sure, if you're not into it, yes, I can agree that you don't want to see it. We're not pushing the same thing as what the extremists in the LGBT are pushing about homosexuality. You know, I don't quite agree with that, honestly, because I don't think you should show children your nude body or like a BDSM gear to that much of your body exposed. There's children to these things, and that ain't gonna create them to be gay. Of course not. You're born gay. There's nothing you can do about that. Not even gay conversion camps work. They've tried to make them work, but they do not work ultimately. All you end up with is people traumatized. And other people who weren't gay in the first place, but were afraid they were gay, so they went to it. So, false cases, you know? I've been studying gay conversion camps here and there, and they do not sound fun. They do not sound like the cure. And they wouldn't work the same with this kind of attraction. The situation would be exactly the same. Didn't cure anybody. They still have this attraction. Nothing you can fucking do about it. What you can do is stop people from committing crimes. It's not like they're not human. Of course they're human. Just the ones who act upon these urges based on their attraction tend to be horrible people. Those are the horrible ones. And people don't know how to distinguish them from others. Because how the fuck you're supposed to approach it? Nobody knows the fact. Like, they're not well informed. And it gets a lot of emotion stirring because somebody was endangered for life. I feel like I might die one of these days. I've always known that I would die at some point since I don't know when. I think when I was first watching those Science Channel shows, I was thinking like, I know I'll not live forever. I've known my mortality, I think, since childhood. But the things I'm into kind of make it hard for me to even date. I don't date because also my mother told me she wanted me to not date until I was 20 years old. Because, you know, she did not, she was against porn against sexual expression. I was a fucking teenager. You didn't give me fucking sexual education while in homeschool? Like, that's what fucked me up here and there. Because I don't know what to fucking do. I don't know what the facts are. Like, what the hell? Like, you should have been, I felt like I should have been taught this back then, but I wasn't. That was one of the downfalls with me and growing up. Of course, I've studied into these things for myself to teach myself, and it upsets me that it upsets me a lot. I keep it to myself, but I fantasized about Nick Wilde more than once when my crush was still new, and my subconscious mind is showing me that I love characters like him, like Nick Wilde, his young cub self. I didn't get to see much of his childhood from the movie. I want to see more of his childhood, honestly. There's books from the Dark Horse comics. They made the Mask series before it became a feature film, and they made some changes to the feature film from the comics because they wanted to be more safe with it, because the comics are quite dark. If I had that mask on, there'd be things that I'd be doing, because I'd be indestructible. With the mask of Loki, I'd be indestructible for sure. And I don't know what else I would do, but I got ideas that I might get away with things. I love comics like The Mask. It's dark, it's bleak, it really shows sides of humanity that more dark and more gruesome, and that shows that even the best of us can go into the dark side of things if we don't check ourselves. Even the best of people can get corrupt. In Fallout, I have Fallout 1, Fallout 2, Fallout Tactic in this pack that I bought with some money. I was given a gift card and I got $100 worth of items. I'm very Irish, and I love that Mother does not honestly say that I love you. She says I love you, but how do I know if she's genuine or not? Because she bought us a bunch of things without really giving us emotional support. She was emotionally neglectful, but bought us things. She got no emotion. Even more emotionally neglectful, spying through my phone and seeing the kinds of porn I was looking at. And you know what she did? She started a fight with my dad, saying that he was molesting us. Like, she's fucking insane. No, she's fucking crazy. There's nothing else you can say. She's fucking crazy. Spying through my goddamn phone, going through my goddamn privacy like that. Instead of saying bad things behind my back like that, But the kind of things I was looking at, she went behind my back and things. I'm her fucking child. You don't treat your child like that. That's abuse. I love you, Mom, but you do not want to. I've tried to take you in with a family counselor with all of us. She didn't include Dad, but at least I still tried to be there with everybody, and because we needed it, and she decided not to visit after the second week, which upset me a lot. I was trying, as a son, to get everything better with all of us. The counselor had the same first name as I, so that was interesting. That's not a very common name. My first name isn't common. This is who I'd cuddle with. You know, have her with me, kind of have games that we can play. They got it perfect. Whoever drew this got it perfect. I don't know where I found this. I've been on Japanese websites, so I don't know. Probably a Japanese website I got it from. Why do I like Japanese websites? Characters like this. This is why I enjoy partially why I enjoy Japanese cultures is Asian cultures is that they are more expressive with this. And in Japan, it's under freedom of expression laws. Even the adult content, especially, is under freedom of expression laws, as they do not invade on the rights of children. People are freely to make these kinds of art. In the law, can't say anything unless they find out something involving with an actual child is in the situation. If there's no child in the situation, the cops ain't involved, because they're doing it right by the law. They're not doing bad things. They're not doing illegal things. They're not hurting anybody. I didn't ask to like this kind of stuff. I didn't ask to be this. How does it make logical sense that I chose something that would piss people off? How would it make sense? So, people choose to be gay. So, where's your argument on that? Where's your argument supported at in the scientific field? I don't know. I can imagine a Beavis and Butthead episode of something along the lines of something like this. We're going to be talking about the penis. We're going to be talking about the vagina. What? I love Mike Judge because he makes funny things. My favorite was King of the Hill. I watched so many episodes of King of the Hill. I loved it. Something ain't right about. Oh my God, Cotton Hill. that character, I don't know. Caught in Hell. No. Not that old yet. And I've never been to the military either. One thing, why did they make Cotton Hill have... He walks on the stubs of his legs that were once shot. He does not have the same amount of mobility as us. Technically disabled. Yeah, actually disabled, so... And he grew up in a... I could imagine that somebody with PTSD like that could accidentally traumatize their child. Nick Wilde seems like he has PTSD from the movie in Zootopia. Now, there's many things that could have been improved on in Zootopia for their story because I don't like that. To children. See, it's not just a white people thing. Everybody's human. No matter the color of your skin. It's just that white people are the majority in America, so we're prominent. That's what happens when one type of particular skin tone of people is in the main population. See, over in Africa, white people tend to be the minority in areas, so we get prejudice. So it happens over there too. In those other countries that actually have places in Africa actually gotten better. Actually, I want to know. There are black people who want to go back to Africa. Do you see black people as a superior race or some other reason? Often in the comment section, they're like, you do the wars in Africa, pretty much, and then you do the wars over there, and you are in America. Telling them that all that kind of thing. Whew. I have so many thoughts about things. I had many fantasies in the teenage years that sickened some people. Sickened people. So, for others, that's not natural for them. For me, it's natural, but for others, it's not. So, that's what I didn't understand back then. Huh. Now, as I see it, now as I'm learning, I'm learning that my preferences came about in the womb. Because she birthed me. Mother birthed me, so if I have any abnormalities like this, she has to get over it. I don't care if it reactivates your trauma because of how you approached it. how you approach the situation. It's not that I hate you. It's that you didn't respect me as your son. She treats me as a child and it makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm 22 years old and I don't want to be babied at all. I'm an adult. And I'm already almost 23 years old. I'm not even it's not even halfway through the year. Actually, it's halfway through the year. My birthday is in March. March 3rd is my birthday. I was born in 1999. I'm not a monster. And treating me like a monster. It's just your prejudices coming out against someone. It's bullshit. It doesn't matter if you think you know is fucking right. If you think this is the right approach, and sorry to say, but that's not how you get people to side with you at all. Treating me as if I already done criminal activity is bullshit. Fuck off with all that. It's very, very bullshit. Fuck off and stop with your projection. Because I know some of you are fucking projecting. Projecting against me, you fucking bata. And I'm a disabled person too. So I don't have the same mental I don't have the same upside. My upsides are different from others. I'm neuroatypical. I'm autistic. I've been diagnosed with autism. I have that in my diagnosis papers, which is set up for when I get a job. I want to get a job, but I've thought about childcare jobs or animal care jobs. Because I love baby animals too. Baby foxes are adorable. Baby goats are adorable, I've been noticing, and I love babies a lot. I love babies since my childhood. I don't know how to. Mother never fostered this aspect of myself. Because where else do you get your idea about children? Is from a mother, of course, because mothers mother their children, and they're the bearer of children, so they should know more about children than a man does. I could see how bad mothers can contribute to child molestation. Like having a bad relationship with your mother seems to be something they something they list in their abstract papers, you know. They talk about the abstract of situations and how do you prevent it? I don't know. I don't got the solutions. I have questions, but I don't have the answers. I'm gonna go in with a professional to talk about these things at some point. Because they'll have more information than I do, since they study, like, the psychology related to psychiatry. Well, yeah. Because I have dyscalculia, so I have a hard time with numbers. And obviously, the numbers are pretty prominent about this. I can see a definite increase in other countries that ban this sort of stuff. This is why I'm loving Japan, because they got lower rates overall, and that gives me hope for humanity. That they have a better solution in Japan with this kind of stuff. Why don't enough people speak out? More people need to speak out about this who go through similar things. How else are you going to have change happen? Speaking is one of the ways to do it. And I love Beastars because they're expressing the Lalata complex in Shotaro complex. Because before this series, Puro-san made this series called Beast Complex. You know, a Beast Complex sounds similar to Shota Complex and Lolly Complex. Lalata Complex, Lalita Complex, Shotaro's Complex, Shotaro Complex. I'm trying to pronounce that right because I'm learning pronunciation and I don't have a speaking partner, so it's going to be bad Japanese. I got a speaking partner because there's Shotacons in Japan and Lollicons in Japan. I know I'm not the only one. And how they distinguish words like Lollicon, Shotacon, and Shoni Sei Shot. Shoni Sei Shot. Shoni Sei Shot. I think it's how it's pronounced, and there's usually a difference in connotation. Though typically with Shotacons and Lollicons, there's more variety with Shotacon and Lollicon. The word has more variety to it. 800-year-old lollies. That's 800 fucking years old. See, I'm not really into the 800-year-old lollies. Though I like the concept of being young forever, of somebody being young forever, so just being young forever. Like in that Fable, in that section of Fable 2, at the nearest end of the game, you find yourself with your sister again in the house you guys grew up in. Here, the house your mother and father were in. Infinite days up until you decide to escape out, as your sister is heard crying, as you find dead bodies, fires in the town, raided the town destroyed by raiders. It's sad how in the past children had to go through that. See, the West has had similar experience as Japan. Similar right there. Fighting amongst each other. That's a very human trait. And it's observed in monkeys even, like chimpanzees, I think.